Dr. Jennifer Henessey with Animal ER of Northwest Houston is here with what pet parents need to know about this amazing topic. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you. Let's first talk about what is CBD.
CBD, which a lot of families may not know, is actually a new on-the-market sort of fad and supplement to kind of help buffer wellness and other medical needs. It has kind of transcended over, if we're taking it or we see it labeled for humans, then the biggest question of all, which comes to us on the veterinary side, is it okay to use on our animals?
And I think there's a lot of confusion out there about CBD because people, or some people, I should say, I don't want to put words in their mouths, but they think it's the equivalent of marijuana. But by Texas state law, it has to be a very, very low fraction of a percentage, right?
Correct. And it's definitely not like medicinal marijuana when we use it. It actually is another side product from the same plant. So it's from the cannabis or hemp plant, but it's a different substrate from that plant that they've actually figured out works within the body to actually aid other ailments and also assist in healing.
So we've heard a lot about this fad. And what is this CBD oil for supplement? What's it used for?
There are so many theoretic uses, but in humans, we've kind of extrapolated those over to our pets. There's not a lot of studies and official research completed yet, but it looks like it's a wonderful potential for anti-inflammatory purposes, which are many diseases, including arthritis. That's a very painful condition that we treat often even at the animal ER.
Yeah.
So opportunities for pain control, as well as additional care for even skin allergies and inflammation there, but even anti-spasm treatments, which we see patients with maybe neck or spinal issues have muscle spasm problems, but also the calming and relaxation effects are a huge benefit to our pets because there are a lot of reasons they can be anxious in and at home, but also at the clinic, but that can also help with emotional and psychological well-being for them too.
What's interesting too is you've also seen for pets is the therapy for epilepsy.
Yes, and that's a huge study in people, and I think that's where it's transcended over for animals because there are a lot of questions certainly in giving chemicals, medications, if it's uncontrolled, are those working? But a lot of families may want to steer more towards an alternative track of some sort of supplement or care for a disease or illness, and this might give them a way to bypass or maybe assist for even better effects of those medications when it comes to epilepsy.
Obviously, pets are part of the family. We want them to be comfortable and safe and happy. Are vets, like yourself, actually recommending, though, CBD? Like, would you recommend using it?
I'd say the caveat is cautiously. You know, we definitely check with the state board, and unfortunately in Texas there are not a clear-cut answer to whether or not we can use it for our patients. So for me, it constructs down to a very close and intimate client-patient relationship where we can have a discussion about what the product truly is, but also the limitations. It's not an FDA-regulated product. Labeling, I think in 2017, there was a study that 80% of the products surveyed were mislabeled and were not even what were in the bottle. So because of the lack of regulation and the lack of consistency, we have to be very guarded in the approach to it. But if clients are interested, I'm happy to entertain conversations, and if we feel it's a place where we can safely insert it and give it a go, I'm willing to apply it to those patients, but it cannot be prescribed at this time.
Oh, that's really interesting. So just like any supplement that we would take as a human, you need to talk to your physician, talk to the veterinarian if you want to introduce this for your pet. And you also said that you can't prescribe CBD. So if we're looking at it, let's say we've had that conversation, and this is something that we want to explore. There's so much on the market now. Like, where do we even begin? I see you have brought in a couple samples here.
It's overwhelming, even for me as a veterinarian, just trying to find products to even try with some of my patients when I have clients interested. Probably the scariest thing and my biggest warning is to not just go on Amazon and Google or to be lured into these boutiques that are labeled as everything amazing and gold as CBD, because we don't really know the formulation of what's in those products, but even oral formulations from chewies to drops have an erratic absorption in the stomach. So they may not even be absorbed to have any sort of effect. What that does is lend towards, maybe I'm going to give my pet some more because I don't see the effect I want, but you actually can reach maybe an overdose. They also might be combined with sweeteners and things like xylitol, which are toxic to pets, but taste good to people. So we also might be unfortunately giving them things that are unfortunately a toxin, not the CBD that's a harm, but other things that are within the human ingredients. And that's very scary for us, particularly on the emergency side of medical care.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, proceed with caution seems like it's the name of the game because it's also new. Just like with any medication, you wouldn't give your dog a pill and then follow up immediately with a second one. So you're saying exercise the same kind of caution.
Absolutely. Restrict because the temptation is there. It looks like it's the up-and-coming kind of medicine miracle, but there is a lot still to be checked in on because of the long-term effects we don't know about. Short-term, it may look amazing, but what are we going to look at our pets dealing with, you know, 2, 3, 6 months from now or even several years from now? And that's the same with people. Allow the research to be done and allow things to really be sorted out, but also allow formulations to become so incredible that we have no doubt that what we put in our pet's body is going to do what it's promised to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so recommendations are avoid any of those products that are not properly labeled, and really have that conversation with our veterinarian as well, because there's oils, there's treats, there's all kinds of things out there.
And it's very tempting because you want to give them things, particularly if it supplies any level of better well-being or comfort. But again, we don't know those effects for sure. I have certainly used it on myself personally, so I can attest that I feel there were some benefits, but I was also guided with a sports physician. So it was still with a medical directive, and that's how anything over the counter at all should be done with our pets, again, because other things might be a mix that are toxic, even if the main ingredient that we're trying to supply is not.
You recently treated an animal named Marvel with CBD. Tell us about that case.
Well, Marvel's special story is that she is a cruelty case and was severely traumatized with a gunshot wound. We treated her by amputation, so that being she went through a long process of healing. So she actually receives a product. She lives with me now, so that we could help facilitate the healing of all the areas that were damaged for her, but also to aid in comfort and healing as we graduated her from her main prescriptions and medications. So it was sort of a downshift to sort of a daily supplement to assist in healing, and I feel that it did very well with her. But again, my product as well, we're trying to figure out which one works best, and I figured for her, she's a great candidate to kind of speak for other elements as far as her representation and being a mascot for a survivor. So she definitely was treated with it, and right now has no ill effects from it, but definitely knew what we were getting into when we started her on it.
And that's so great. And continue that conversation, because it may be something that can or cannot work for your pet, but always have that conversation with your veterinarian. And always great information with Dr. Henessey. By the way, to keep up with her, check out the Scene on Houston Life section of our website. Very interesting topic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for stopping by, Jennifer. Great to see you.